Here we also discussed the IoT World Forum Standardized Architecture, which consists of a 7-layer, and this model has been published in the 2014. So the first layer consists of physical devices and controllers that can be known as things inside of a IoT. So these are what sensor devices, machine, intelligent edge nodes of all types. So edge nodes are nothing but whatever the calculation for the data transmission or the processing calculation that can be done at the physical layer itself. Okay, so that is what the edge layer itself वो physical और connectivity के बीच में अगर सारे के सारे calculation आपके हो रहे हैं, so at that time the processing of a data will be done at the edge level. Okay, then next one is nothing but the connectivity, where the communications and processing units are there. So this consists of the different router, gateways, okay, in order to do the data transmission. Then third one is nothing but the edge computing. So the data elements analysis as well as the transformation will be done on based on the requirement. Okay, so as here if you just go for the physical layer, connectivity and edge computing. So edge computing, at the edge level we can have the different devices that can convert, or we can say pre-process the data and send it for the operation. Pre-processing अगर data का किया जाता है तो आपका operation fast होता है, result जो होता है वो fast आएगा आपका. Okay, so up to that we are having the data accumulation, where the collection of data that has been sent by the edge computing devices will be collected, and they can be stored over there, and we can say whatever the data that has been collected will be converted into the query format. I think so we have seen the data accumulation, so that captures the data and store it, so it is usable by the application when necessary, and this is responsible for the conversion of event based data to the query based data. So time to time whatever the data generated or inserted inside of a database is nothing but the event based data. Once it is inserted into the database, so this can be known as a query based data. So we can just process the data, we can just have the result based on the query itself. Then the data abstraction layer, so this simply reconciles the multiple data formats and ensure the consistent semantics for the various sources. So it confirms that the data set is complete and consolidate data into one place or multiple data store using the virtualization. So based on the virtualization, whatever the different user that has been created for the application, so the data will be shown differently to the different user. Okay, so a few of the users are interested into all the data, while as the other can be interested into the part of a data. So based on the user creation and the authentication as well as the authorization, so the different data will be shown to the different user. And then the application layer, it interprets the data using the software application. So application may monitor, control and provide the report based on the analysis of the data. And last one is ये देखा है हमने last lecture में. Okay, and the collaboration and the processes layer, so it consumes and shares the application information, collaborate on the communicating IoT information often requires the multiple steps, and it is what makes the IoT useful. So this layer can change the business process and deliver the benefits of the IoT. So if it is the this is what the extra thing or extra characteristics provided by the IoT, the business layer. Okay? Business layer. So today again I think so we have I just give you the name of a different additional IoT reference model. One that has been developed by the Purdue University, so Purdue model for the control hierarchy, and then next one is the industrial internet reference architecture by the IIC, which can be used mostly in the industry 4.0, and the IoT architecture IoT A. Okay, so another simplified IoT architecture that we are having that can be divided into the two different stacks. Okay, one stack is the functional stack, and the another stack is nothing but the data management and the compute stack. So the functional stack consists of the things, then communication network and the application, while as the data management and compute stack. Data management यानी how you are just processing the result, whether the result is processed at the edge level or let's suppose consider करके चलो कि you want to switch on the fan, okay, based on some condition. So whether the switch on of a fan will be done by the edge devices itself, those are installed in the what we can say at the edge node. Okay, so if that can be that processing of switching on the light or switching on the fan, if it does at the edge level, so we can say the data management and the computation will be done at the edge level. The next one is nothing but the fog. Okay, so again same thing, if the what we can say, if the switching on and off of a light or fan, any kind of a devices or IoT application processing of a data will be done at the fog node. Okay, now edge node basically it is present at the physical or physical layer. Okay, fog node intermediate to the internet and the physical layer, and the last one is nothing but the cloud, which is present or which is considered as an what we can say internet itself. So base for particularly for the cloud. Okay, अभी देखो एज के लिए कैलकुलेशन जो है विद इन नेटवर्क होता है, फॉग के लिए इन बिटवीन द इंटरनेट एंड द फिजिकल लेयर. सो द कैलकुलेशन विल बी डन इन बिटवीन द इंटरनेट एंड द फिजिकल लेयर. मैंने आपको इसको यानी ये भी करके बताया था कि हाउ बेस्ड ऑन द क्लाइंट सर्वर आर्किटेक्चर, आई थिंक सो. ओके, so if I am having the different devices connected over here, okay, they are sending the data to the edge node. okay, यहाँ पे edge node है, कंसिडर करके चलो उसको डेटा दे रहे हैं वो, और यहाँ पे उस डेटा का प्रोसेसिंग होके रिजल्ट अगर तैयार हो रहा है, सो दिस इज नोन एज एन अबाउट एज कंप्यूटिंग. ओके, ये ऐसे इंटरमीडिएट नोड है, उधर से डेटा जा रहा है, और ये डेटा जो है ये विद इन द नेटवर्क है आपका फिजिकल नेटवर्क. ओके, वो डेटा जो पास हो रहा है एक अबोव डिवाइस को हो रहा है. सो हियर वी कैन हैव द फॉग नोड, एंड दिस फॉग नोड इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डेटा processing. This fog node is responsible for the data processing. Okay, so and again expansion to this. Okay, so instead of a fog node we can have the different gateways, etc., etc. They can just connect it with the gateway in terms of a router or the internet devices. Okay, so they can just connect to the cloud. Okay, so actually what are the difference what is the difference between the internet and a cloud? Okay, क्लाइंट सर्वर आर्किटेक्चर है, सर्वर छोड़ के यानी क्लाइंट सर्वर आर्किटेक्चर और क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग में डिफरेंस क्या है? सो इन द क्लाउड वी कैन हैव द डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस लाइक application different types of services available with us that can be provided by the cloud. Okay, so the first one is nothing but application as a service. Okay, as then PaaS, platform as a service, and SaaS. Okay, software as a service. So the different kind of, let's suppose if you are just using the conversion of a PDF to the doc. Okay, so you are just doing the online conversion, right? Online conversion करते हो आप. So that is an example of a cloud computing and based on सॉफ्टवेयर एज एन सर्विस. वो सॉफ्टवेयर जो अदर नोड के ऊपर इंटरनेट में कहाँ तो भी इंस्टॉल है, उसका क्या यूज़ कर रहे हो आप? यू आर जस्ट यूजिंग द सॉफ्टवेयर दैट इज अवेलेबल इनसाइड ऑफ ए इंटरनेट. सो दैट इज व्हाट द सॉफ्टवेयर एज एन सर्विस. Okay, or one can also say it as an application as a service. Then we can have the platform as a service. So different drives available with us where we are storing the data can be considered as a platform as a service, or we can say the different coding platform available online. So that can also be considered as an online जो coding आप करते हो उसके बाद में compile करते हो, execute करते हो, right? So that can be considered as a platform as a service. Okay, so based on the data management, how you are storing the data and how you are just calculating the result, that is data management and compute, we can have the another stack into the IoT architecture. That stack is nothing but the data management and computational stack. Second stack is nothing but the core IoT functional stack, where कोर IoT फंक्शनल स्टैक इसलिए बोला है कि ये आपकी रहेगी. ओके, ये आपके 3 लेयर रहेगी ही रहेगी. in any IoT application, you must have to include these three layers. While as you can just use the edge computing, you can just use the single fog computing, or you can just use the क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग. इसमें से एक हो सकता है, दो कर सकते हो, बट ये तीनों में से तीनों के तीनों लेयर आपके आएंगे. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज़ द कोर IoT फंक्शनल स्टैक. core IoT functional stack. Now, if you just go for the core IoT functional stack, so this core IoT functional stack just can have the layer 1 things. So these things are nothing but the sensor and actuators that are present, where the sensors are responsible for sensing the information and providing the data to the edge node, or we can say what we can say the node which is responsible for the data collection. Data collection के लिए जो node responsible है उसको सारे connected रहेंगे, so that can be connected by using the star topology or a mesh topology. Okay? So उनको data जाएगा. Actuators are nothing but the devices who actually listen for the trigger and execute the event. Who actually listen for the triggers and execute the event. So for example, if the temperature is less than 25, okay, so that can be sensed, the temperature is going to be sensed by the sensor, and if it is less than 25, you must have to switch on the air condition. So that can be the switching on or switching off of air condition can be done by using the actuator. Okay, so they are having the trigger. The trigger is nothing but if the temperature is less than 25, switch on the AC. If the temperature is again what we can say the greater than some value, then switch off the air condition. Based on that, you are just what we can say managing the different devices inside of the IoT network. Then second layer consists of the communication network layer, where actually how the data is going to be transmitted. So for that purpose we can have the different access network sublayer. Okay, so access network sublayer, how the data is going to be managed and what kind of a protocol is going to be used to transmit the data based on the range, based on the cost, based on the different devices available with us. Okay, on the basis of that we can have what we can have the different access different access network protocols available inside of that access network sublayer. Then we can have the gateway and the backhaul sublayer, where how the data is going to be again transmitted to the gateways. Then what kind of a protocol is going to be used. Okay, so that is present in the network transport sublayer, and the last one is nothing but the IoT network management sublayer. अब network transport sublayer और IoT network management sublayer के अंदर different protocols है आपके जो आपको यूज़ करना है. लाइक इन द नेटवर्क ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर वी कैन हैव द प्रोटोकॉल एज एन लाइक a TCP, UDP, but if you just generally whatever the TCP transmission control protocol as well as the ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर के प्रोटोकॉल कौन से है, द TCP एज वेल एज द UDP. अब ये हो गए कि लेयर हो गए आपको. यस, कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क के अंदर के लेयर हो गए आपको. TCP IP प्रोटोकॉल सूट हो गया. ओके, सो तो उसमें ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर में कौन से दो प्रोटोकॉल है आपके. yes, anyone? The TCP as well as the UDP. So transmission control protocol and user datagram protocol, I think so. तो CN की जानकारी नहीं है मुझे, ज़रा बताते जाओ आप. So such type of a protocol that you must have to use the network transport sublayer. But if you just use the header of TCP directly, if you just use the header of UDP directly, UDP का header तो भी छोटा है लेकिन TCP का header बहुत ज़्यादा है आपका, तो उसको ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए एनर्जी कंजम्पशन ज़्यादा रहेगा. इफ़ द एनर्जी कंजम्पशन इज़ too high for the transmission of a packet, so it is very difficult to activate or very difficult for a network to become alive for what we can say extra time inside of a network. Okay, वो जो नेटवर्क जो आपने इस्टेब्लिश किया है, okay, अभी उसकी एनर्जी जल्दी जल्दी ख़त्म हो रही है क्योंकि TCP का पैकेट साइज अगर देखोगे तो बहुत बड़ा है. Okay, so TCP का पोर्ट TCP port number, then you can have the IP addresses, then you can have the different flags over there, you can have the what checksum over there, right? So different fields are there. So उतने सारे field अगर consider किए मैंने IoT के लिए, तो जो बैटरी पावर डिवाइसेस है मेरे, जैसे हम देखेंगे थिंग्स सेंसर, वट एवर द सेंसर्स, how they are classified. Okay, so that type of network is not able to what we can say, it's not able to become alive for extra times, means for ज़्यादा देर के लिए वो अलाइव नहीं रहेंगे. वो नेटवर्क बैटरी पावर कंजम्पशन ज़्यादा हो गया तो जल्दी जल्दी आपके डिवाइसेस शट डाउन हो गए. जैसे जैसे डिवाइसेस आपके शट डाउन हो गए वैसे वैसे आपका नेटवर्क ब्रेक होता जाएगा. Okay, so here we can have some modification into the general TCP as well as the UDP. So that modification can be seen inside of a IoT network management software. Okay, and the last one is nothing but the application and analytics layer, where we're having the categories based on the analytics versus control application, data versus network analysis, data analysis versus the business benefits. Okay, so business layer ही है actually आपको कि IoT का यूज़ क्या है वहाँ पे. एंड लास्ट वन इज नथिंग बट द स्मार्ट सर्विसेज. ओके, सो जैसे लेयर 1 है, थिंग्स है आपके पास में, या डिफरेंट सेंसर्स दैट आर अवेलेबल. सो वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ स्मार्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स. सो स्मार्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स or the things or the sensor or the actuators are available and can be classified by using the following criteria. So the first criteria is the battery power or the power connected. Battery power means the node or whatever the network that has been created by you. Okay. Whatever the node that has network that has been created by you, and the node that are used, or the sensor or the smart objects or the actuator that has been used inside of a network. So either they are battery power or the power connected. Battery power means what, you must have to use the cell over there, battery power. Okay, तो लिथियम सेल मोस्टली यूज होता है क्योंकि उसकी लाइफ थोड़ी ज़्यादा रहती है, तो नेटवर्क आपका स्टेबल रहेगा कुछ ज़्यादा टाइम के लिए. पावर कनेक्टेड है तो यू मस्ट हैव टू यूज 240 to 5 volt or 12 volt adapter over there. Okay, so you have to provide the power. Okay, पावर कनेक्टेड अगर आपका सेंसर है, सो क्या होता है वहाँ पे, द नेटवर्क इज मोर स्टेबल, बट कंटिन्यूसली यू मस्ट हैव टू प्रोवाइड द पावर सप्लाई. इफ द पावर सप्लाई ब्रेक्स, अगेन योर नेटवर्क फॉल्स. सो बेस्ड अभी अगर आपको क्वेश्चन पूछा कि व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सेंसर और एक्चुएटर्स. ओके, जस्ट वेट फॉर अ मिनट. So if anyone asks you a question कि what kind of a network or a sensor that you are going to be used, whether you are going to be use the battery power or the power connected, basically it depends on the application that you are developing or defining. Okay, based on that you must have to select the sensor, whether it is the battery power or the power connected. Likewise जो नीचे की भी है आपके mobile or the static, whether that sensor is movable or whether that sensor remains at the same location. So for example, if you are using the tracking system, so at a time your sensor must be और लोकेशन बेस्ड सर्विसेज अगर आप यूज़ कर रहे हो तो मोबाइल यूज़ करना पड़ेगा सेंसर। स्टैटिक एक जगह पे ही रह के उसको डेटा ट्रांसमिट करना है। फॉर एग्जांपल रूम टेम्परेचर कैलकुलेशन है, सो सेंसर को घूमने की काम नहीं है तो वहाँ पे, सो एट अ टाइम यू कैन जस्ट यूज़ द स्टैटिक सेंसर। देन द नेक्स्ट टाइप इज़ नथिंग बट द लो और हाई रिपोर्टिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी। सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट, ये तो आप प्रोग्रामिंग थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं कि एट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ टाइम इंटरवल you have to send the data. But basically if you are just using the medical sensor, so that medical sensor must have the quality of high reporting frequency. And if you are just using the moisture level detector for the agriculture, तो उसको हाई सेंसिटिविटी की ज़रूरत नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत कम पानी कम ज़्यादा बोले तो यानी एक तो हम वो रीडिंग जो है आधे घंटे के बाद में ले सकते हैं या 1 घंटे के बाद में भी ले सकते हैं। तो पानी कम गिर गया देन यू कैन जस्ट अप्लाई यू कैन जस्ट स्विच ऑन द पावर सप्लाई एंड you can just go for the irrigation of what you can say the farming. But if you are just using the hydroponic kind of a farming, at that time again you must have to go for the high reporting frequency sensors. Then next one is nothing but report range. So whether they are having simple or rich data, what kind of a data that has been generated by the sensor, whether it generates the simple analog data or simple digital data in terms of a number, or whether it provides rich data, whether it provides the audio clip, whether it provides the video clip as an output, whether it provides the multimedia kind of a data as an output. So that is what the rich data. So the sensor like a camera can be considered as an example of a rich data, and the LM35 or the DST sensor can be considered as a simple things based on they generate the simple data. Then report range, कहाँ तक वो उसको सेंड कर सकते हैं, whether they have the short report range or the large report range. Based on that again we can have the short report range वाले क्या है, एक जगह से लेके दूसरे जगह तक देना है, उसका काम खत्म। एंड ऑब्जेक्ट और लॉन्ग रिपोर्ट पे एक जगह से दूसरे जगह देना है बट वो कंटिन्यूस फ्लो करना है आपका। Okay, and last one is nothing but the object density per cell, how many sensor you are going to install. Okay, so this is all about the different sensor and actuators that you are using into the layer 1. Then the layer 2 is the communication network layer, where you can have the in that communication network layer, so how the data is going to be passed, what kind of protocol that is going to be used to transmit the data. Okay, so based on that we can have the access network sub layer. Okay, यहाँ पे है access network sub layer, इसके अंदर क्या होता है ये मैंने आपको बताया. Then gateway and backhaul sub layer, then network transport sub layer, IoT network management sub layer. So all these are nothing but the sub layers of communication network layer. So if you just go for the access network sub layer, so we can have the different protocol for transmission of the data. Okay, so NFC near field communication examples देखा होगा, it is very short range kind of a protocol that is available for the transmission of the data. EMV पता है आपको? Anybody knows the EMV? Anyone? Yes, anyone knows the EMV? सबके पास में है ये EMV वाला. NFC तो आपने मोबाइल में देखा होगा, जिसका हाई एंड सेलफोन है अवेलेबल, तो दे कैन हैव द NFC इंक्लूडेड ओवर देयर. सो विद इन अ वेरी शॉर्ट रेंज, ओके, वो डिवाइस के ऊपर अगर आप टच करोगे, NFC वाले आपके पास में ATM रह सकते हैं, मोबाइल रह सकता है. ओके, EMV भी कहाँ पे यूज़ किया है, कभी देखा है आपने EMV, वेर इट इज़ यूज? Yes, card payment. Oh, so whatever the yes, right, Saurabh. So whatever the card that are available with you, okay. So nowadays you can have the chip on that card. So that chip must be read by some laser technique which is available inside of a ATM. ओके, सो दे आर बेस्ड ऑन द EMV. तो वेरी शॉर्ट रेंज है उसकी, तो उसको इंसर्ट करके रखना पड़ेगा आपका जब तक यानी जब तक पूरा ट्रांजैक्शन कंप्लीट नहीं होता. तो इफ़ यू जस्ट गो फॉर द रेंज ऑफ NFC एंड द EMV, सो विच इज़ लेस दैन 10 सेंटीमीटर, 5 सेंटीमीटर ही है उसकी, 2-3 सेंटीमीटर का डिफरेंस से हम पेमेंट कर सकते हैं. देन उससे ज़्यादा रेंज चाहिए आपको, सो इफ़ द रेंज फॉर योर नेटवर्क मस्ट बी less than 5 kilometers, so we can have the WPAN, WHAN, WFAN, WLAN and WNAN. Okay, so the यहाँ पे जो है उनकी रेंज नॉट स्ट्रिक्टली डिफाइंड है पर्टिकुलरली, इट कैन बी यूज इन द रेंज ऑफ 10 मीटर टू 5 किलोमीटर, अलग अलग से रेंज है. ओके, सो इफ़ यू जस्ट गो फॉर द वायरलेस पर्सनल एरिया नेटवर्क, सो दैट इज WPAN, so you can have the Bluetooth, WiMAX and ANT plus. So again, if you just consider the example of a Bluetooth, so Bluetooth can have the range of 10 meter to 110 meter. ओके, 110 मीटर तक है, या फिर 100 मीटर कंसिडर कर सकते हो, 10 मीटर से लेके 100 मीटर तक. लेकिन उतना भी नहीं चलता आपका ब्लूटूथ, जो मोबाइल डिवाइसेस है ब्लूटूथ मेरे ख्याल से इतना भी ज़्यादा नहीं चलेगा आपका, मीटर से 10 मीटर तक चलता है. बट यू कैन हैव द अनदर डिवाइसेस, अनदर ब्लूटूथ डिवाइसेस दैट कैन हैव द रेंज ऑफ 10 to 100 मीटर्स. लेकिन देखो, अगर वो रेंज बढ़ेगी तो उसका पावर कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा, पावर कंजम्पशन बढ़ गया तो नेटवर्क स्टेबिलिटी आपकी कम हो जाएगी. देन MiFi, okay, ANT. So these are the another example of the techniques that can be categorized under the wireless personal area network. The next one, you can have the wireless home area network. This is going to be useful for the automation purpose. एक घर के अंदर, एक फैक्ट्री के अंदर, एक कॉलेज के रूम के अंदर अगर आपको नेटवर्क इस्टेब्लिश करना है, सेंसर कनेक्टिविटी करना है, सो यू कैन जस्ट गो फॉर द ZigBee, Z-Wave, 6LoWPAN, okay, and the different other protocols are also there. So in the most of the things, so either you can 6LoWPAN, so that is low wireless personal area network. लो का मतलब है वो बैटरी कंजम्पशन जो होने वाला है उसका कम है. Okay, so if you want to implement or if you want to install the what you can say, the sensor into the room or into the house, okay, home automation वाला करना है project आपको, so at that time you can just use the ZigBee protocol for the communication, Z-Wave protocol for the data transmission, or you can just use the 6LoWPAN protocol for the communication purpose. Then next one is nothing but the WFAN. So WFAN stands for wireless field or factory area network, wireless field or factory area network, where again you can just use the ISA 100 so 100.11a, that is again a 6LoW WPAN standard for the communication. Then wireless HART, okay, and other than that, this is going to be used into the field where it is having the area greater than the home. Okay, then next one is nothing but the वायरलेस लोकल एरिया नेटवर्क. ये तो आपको पता हो गया, यू कैन जस्ट यूज IEEE 802.1 A, B, G, N, AC, AX, AH, P, AT, different standards are there. Okay, so whether based on that, whether it is based on the Bluetooth, whether it is based on the Wi-Fi, whether it is based on another, that is what the wired Ethernet connection, etc., etc. So that can be found into the wireless local area network. Then we can have the wireless neighborhood area network. वायरलेस नेबरहुड एरिया नेटवर्क के एग्जांपल आपको मेरे ख्याल से ऐसे एप्लीकेशन में मिलेंगे जहाँ पे व्हाट वी कैन से द डेटा, नहीं एग्जांपल आपको कहाँ पे मिलेंगे, स्मार्ट ग्रिड एप्लीकेशन के अंदर यू मस्ट हैव टू यूज़ द वायरलेस नेबरहुड एरिया नेटवर्क फॉर द ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ द डेटा फ्रॉम one home or 1 meter to the another meter. Okay, so the transmission devices are present into the meter itself, so they are providing the information to the neighboring meter. Again, they are providing the information to the neighboring meter, and at last it can provide the information to the grid जहाँ से उसको power supply आ रहा है. Then so this can have the range of less than 5 kilometer. इससे ऊपर अगर आपको चाहिए, so you can just use the WWAN, that is wireless wide area network, एंड LPWA, दैट इज़ लो पावर वाइड एरिया. लो पावर इसलिए कि आपके जो सेंसर है आइदर इट इज़ व्हाट, सो इफ़ यू आर जस्ट यूजिंग द सेंसर विच इज़ बैटरी पावर, तो ट्रांसमिशन में आपका इलेक्ट्रिक कंजम्पशन और एनर्जी कंजम्पशन जो है वो कम रहे. दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन हैव द प्रोटोकॉल like our protocol that's having the light header format, that's having the light header format. So as they are having the light header format, तो इसका मतलब उसको पैकेट तैयार करने के लिए ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगने वाला है, और डेटा ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए छोटे छोटे है हेडर उनके, तो डेटा ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए भी उनको ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लगने वाला है. सो द एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट यू कैन जस्ट यूज़ द सेलुलर नेटवर्क, और यू कैन जस्ट यूज़ द लाइसेंस और अनलाइसेंस LPWA. So the example of the cellular networks are nothing but whatever the GSM or the 3G 4G 2G available with you. There is what GSM architecture आपका GPRS बेस्ड चलता था, उसके बाद में WCDA में आया आपको, then you can have the LTE, okay, और greater to that you can have the WiMAX also. Then if you just go for the LPWA license, so for that again you are having the protocol 3GPP NB IoT. Okay, 3GPP NB IoT. Or if you just go for the unlicensed, you can have the Sigfox low range WAN. No, so not a low range, it is the long range WAN. Okay, then Telensa. अभी ये कैसे है, अनलाइसेंस है, इसका मतलब दे आर फ्रीली अवेलेबल टू यू. Okay, so these protocols are freely available for you. So one can use the Sigfox for transmitting the data. One can use the long range wireless area network LoRaWAN, okay, for the transmission of the data. Telensa. तो अगर एक एप्लीकेशन आप बना रहे हो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट वाला, so you can just go for such kind of a low power wide area network, okay, that can have the range of 5 km to the 100 km for the data transmission. That can be present into the access network sublayer. So access network sublayer consists of the different protocol via which the data is going to be accessed or the transmitted. Okay, तो कनेक्शन इस्टेब्लिशमेंट के लिए कनेक्शन इस्टेब्लिशमेंट के लिए कौन सा प्रोटोकॉल आपको यूज़ करना है, नेटवर्क डिफाइन करने के लिए आपको कौन सा प्रोटोकॉल यूज़ करना है. सो दैट इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड ऑफ ए एक्सेस नेटवर्क सबलेयर. ओके, नाउ बेस्ड ऑन whatever the technology that we have seen, based on the data transmission range as well as the power and the bandwidth and the cost of implementation, we can have we can say the based on the range as well as the implementation cost, we can have the classification. So for example, if you just consider the indoor RF mesh, okay, radio frequency mesh अगर आप यूज़ कर रहे हो, Bluetooth LE यूज़ कर रहे हो, broadband access plus Wi-Fi यूज़ कर रहे हो, they can have the transmission range in the range of less than 10 meters to less than 1 kilometer, और उससे ज़्यादा अगर आपको चाहिए तो यू कैन हैव द LPWA. ओके, अगर कॉस्ट के लिए देखोगे तो ये सब कम है कॉस्ट, इफ़ यू जस्ट यूज़ द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कॉस्ट ओवर द. अभी यहाँ पे वैसे भी दे दिया पावर कंजम्पशन जो है, so if the node is present in the color of dark blue, so the power consumption is nothing but greater than 50 milliampere. So if the node is light blue, so the power consumption is greater than 50 milliampere. Okay, and if it is presented like by using the color like this, so if you just consider this kind of devices that is going to be used to establish the network, okay, तो उनके लिए नेटवर्क की रेंज जो है वो शॉर्ट है, बट ये जो नेटवर्क आपने तैयार किया रहेगा, so that network can have the stability for एक्स्ट्रा टाइम. ओके, क्योंकि उसका एनर्जी कंजम्पशन बहुत लेस है, लेकिन ऐसे टाइप में उनका ट्रांसमिशन रेट जो है, उनका ट्रांसमिशन, जस्ट वेट फॉर अ मिनट, लेक्चर शुरू है, मैं करता हूँ नंतर. Okay, so yes, where we are. So but if you just go for the transmission rate, okay, so that is measured in terms of a bandwidth, so greater than 100 Mbps, जैसे जैसे लेस दैन 100 Mbps, less than 1 Mbps, less than 100 kbps. Again based on the bandwidth available. अगर समझो जिनकी बैंडविड्थ ज़्यादा है उनका एनर्जी कंजम्पशन भी ज़्यादा रहेगा, उनका एनर्जी कंजम्पशन भी ज़्यादा रहने वाला है. Okay, so this is the comparison of different networks which is available in the access network sublayer. Okay, so that comparison is based on the range as well as the cost of implementation. So उनकी cost of implementation less है. If you just go for the cellular network, Wi-Fi mesh as well as the SP Wi-Fi, इनकी cost of implementation ज़्यादा है. उसके बाद में power consumption भी देखोगे अगर, तो if you just consider the power consumption for the cellular network, it is very high. ये पावर कंजम्पशन सेलुलर नेटवर्क का आपको आपकी इससे भी समझ में आएगा, किसे मोबाइल डिवाइसेस की तरफ से. ओके, सो इफ़ यू आर यूजिंग द मोबाइल डिवाइसेस इट्स पावर कंजम्पशन इज़ वेरी हाई. आपको रिचार्ज जैसे यानी इफ़ यू आर जस्ट यूजिंग द डेटा कनेक्शन ऑन, तो आपका मोबाइल एक दिन के लिए चलेगा ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. ओके, मैक्सिमम 12 आवर्स. डेटा कनेक्शन ऑफ करके रखो, डेटा कनेक्शन ऑफ करके रखा तो 2 दिन जाएगा. डेटा कनेक्शन कम्प्लीटली फ्लाइट मोड पे डालो तो आपका मोबाइल भले वो स्मार्ट रहने दो या फिर सादा वाला तो चलता ही है, वैसे स्मार्ट मोबाइल भी रहेगा तो आपका 5 दिन तक आराम से चलता है. ओके, so that is what the battery power consumption. So basically when we design any IoT network, okay, so you must have to consider the cost, range, data transmission rate as well as the power consumption. Cost, range, data transmission rate और the power consumption of a particular node. ये 4 चीज़ें आपको देखनी पड़ेगी. Okay, so that is present inside of what access network sublayer. Then you can have the gateways and backhaul sublayer. So gateways है आपके, you can just connect to the internet. So for that purpose we can have the technology like Ethernet, Wi-Fi. ये तो ऊपर वाले है, यानी आपके नेटवर्क के ऊपर आपने जो आपका खुद का IoT नेटवर्क यूज़ किया है उसके ऊपर क्या है, गेटवे, इंटरमीडिएट टू द internet. Okay, intermediate to the internet. So where you can just use the Ethernet, Wi-Fi, 802.11 AH based on the Hello W, Wi-Fi, then WiMAX, or cellular is nothing but either the GPRS or LTE. Okay, so Ethernet is nothing but again the wired technology, and it can have the data transmission rate based on that. Okay, यहाँ पे 100 मीटर दिया है लेकिन उससे ज़्यादा है. Okay, so what kind of a wire that you are using, whether it is the Cat 5, Cat 6, based on that you can have the different range. Okay, so this requires the cable per sensor or sensor group, यानी वो नेटवर्क या फिर पर्टिकुलरली अ सिंगल सेंसर, उसके लिए केबल कनेक्शन लगेंगे अडेप्टेड टू द स्टैटिक सेंसर पोजीशन इनटू द स्टेबल एनवायरनमेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल अभी इसके लिए एग्जांपल है आपका कि ये जो आपके होम सर्विलेंस सिस्टम है जिसके अंदर हम कैमरा यूज़ करने वाले हैं. ओके, सो कैमरा इज़ एन एग्जांपल ऑफ व्हाट वी कैन से camera is an example of the IoT network which is based on the Ethernet. केबल देखो, Ethernet की केबल रहती है उसको, so that requires a cable per sensor or a sensor group and adapted to the static sensor position. कैमरा की पोजीशन तो चेंज नहीं वाली है. in a stable environment, range is limited, link is very reliable. very reliable क्यों बोला है? because it is always connected to the network as it is the wire connection. Okay, and power supply is also going to be supplied over there. Then Wi-Fi, there is again wireless. It's having the range of 100 meter to a few kilometers based on the technique that we are going to be used. So can connect the multiple clients, typically fewer than 200. Okay, so at that time you can just use the Wi-Fi. 200 से ज़्यादा, sorry, 200 से कम आपके अगर नोड रहेंगे, एंड नोड है, okay, to a single access point. Range is limited, adapted to the cases where client power is not an issue. Continuous power or client battery recharge easily. Large bandwidth available, but interface from other system likely access node needs to be cable. एक्सेस पॉइंट की तरफ से जो आपको नेटवर्क मिलने वाला है वो केबल रहेगा. सो दैट एक्सेस पॉइंट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग द नेटवर्क कनेक्शन. Okay, now the advantage of that system is nothing but what we can say, Uh, so this can be used where the cases where the client power is not considered as any kind of a issue, and you are responsible for providing the continuous power और क्लाइंट बैटरी रिचार्ज। ओके, कंटिन्यूसली अगर वो बैटरी रिचार्ज कर रहे हो या फिर पावर सप्लाई वहाँ पे आप प्रोवाइड कर रहे हो, तो यू कैन जस्ट गो फॉर द वाईफाई काइंड ऑफ ए नेटवर्क। Next one is nothing but IEEE 802.11 AH. So this is the Hello W or Wi-Fi standards again. It is again a wireless that's having the range of 1.5 kilometer. Um, so if you are using the mesh topology, and if you are transmitting the data, okay, so from one node to the another node, that's why it is considered as a multi-point. Okay, so can connect a large number of a client up to 6000 per access point. एक access point के लिए 6000 क्या कर सकते हो आप, 6000 different nodes आप चला सकते हो by using a single access point. Okay, that can have the longer range because the range is in terms of 1.5 kilometer to 10 kilometer longer range with the traditional Wi-Fi, power efficient, limited bandwidth, as well as the low adoption, and cost may be an issue because as it is going to be handle the large number of devices. Okay, so उसके implementation cost, वो device की cost या access point जो आप use कर रहे हो उसकी cost ज़्यादा रहेगी. Then WiMAX, again it is a wireless that's having the range of several kilometers. So that can be considered as a backhaul for connection of network. Okay, so can connect the large number of a client, large bandwidth available in the licensed spectrum, FBAS. Okay, so it is not freely available for the use. It's having the reduced bandwidth for the license free spectrum. Okay, like interference from other system likely, and adoption varies on the location. हर एक location के लिए उनकी cost change होती है. Then cellular, that is based on the GSM or the LTE, that also can have the range of several kilometers, and again it is wireless, can connect the large number of a client, large bandwidth available, license spectrum. License spectrum क्यों बोला है? Because you must have to purchase the SIM. You must have to purchase the SIM. You have to recharge. Okay, and that SIM is purchased based on some document. So interference is free, but it is license based. So these are nothing but the different technologies that are a part of gateways and the backhaul. Gateways and backhauls are going to be used to connect the different networks. Okay? As well as these are going to be used, the gateways are going to be used to manage the network itself. Okay, so the next one is nothing but the network transport sublayer and the IoT network management sublayer. Network transport sublayer consists of the protocol that are responsible for transmission of the data, and IoT network management sublayer अभी उसके अंदर जो changes हो गए आपके, okay, क्या किसके अंदर, जो ट्रांसपोर्ट लेयर के प्रोटोकॉल ऑलरेडी आपको TCP/IP मॉडल के अंदर है, उसके अंदर क्या चेंजेस हुए, हाउ दे आर व्हाट वी कैन से मॉडिफाइड in order to implement the IoT network. Okay, so that is present inside of the IoT network management. So we'll stop here, and in tomorrow's lecture we'll discuss about the network transport sublayer and the IoT network management sublayer.